to the One Up Weekly Live.
Yeah. Damn, dude. So that's what you've been working on all day. That was cool.
That was fun.
I had not seen that, by the way. He didn't share any of that with me. He just said I'm gonna think it's super cool, and it was super cool. So yeah, man, that was awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I tried. I thought it'd be kind of fun to do something different, So today, of course, we're going to be talking about Terminator 2. If you guys don't know, Ralph picked up a real Terminator 2 arcade at a recent auction that we did. Keep in mind, we're going to be doing another auction next Saturday, so we want to make sure everyone is invited. I think Ralph, you have like a regular spiel that you like to say every single time we do an auction.
I do. So if you are going to be interested in that auction, you're going to want to go over and register right away. So you're going to go to Captain's Auctions Warehouse on, just Google that. You'll find it. And then register for the auction now if you're interested. And then toward the end of the show, I'll talk to you about some of the little like tidbits that you'll want to know about if it's your first one. And honestly, we have so much fun. A lot of people just join to see what's at auction, and we try to guess what things are going to go for. It's fun just in that. So even if you're not planning on participating and buying anything, it's super fun just to join, and we all have fun trying to guess, how much things are going to go for, and just seeing some of these old arcades. It's just fun.
Yeah, but on this episode, what you're going to see is a kind of like a live review of the T2 arcade cabinet that Ralph picked up. He's going to be going downstairs, and we're going to be checking that out. One thing, I don't know, Ralph, you know about it, but the T2 cabinet is kind of the beginning of our relationship. I don't know if you know this, but you did a video on YouTube where you went to Denver, and you were checking out the One Up Bar arcade, and you were saying how you wished they had a T2. And that was one of the first conversations we had, because I used to live in Denver, and I went to the One Up arcade that's in Greenwood Village, and they do have a T2 there. And that's why we were talking about, he's like, do you go to Denver often? I'm like, yeah, every 3 months I have to go back to Denver. And then remember at that time you had a job where you would travel to Denver a lot, and we were talking about meeting up. But I totally ghosted you because I was like, because next time I went to Denver, I did not tell Ralph I was going to Denver, even though he's like, next time you go, tell me and I'll totally go. I was like, some creep on the internet wants to hang out with me in Denver? That's not happening.
Wait, I never knew that part. You really ghosted? Like, you didn't actually want to meet?
I wanted.
Wait, what? I don't know this part.
I got cold feet, right? Because we weren't friends yet, and then I was like,
all right,
oh man, whatever, and then all of a sudden, you were calling me and we were chatting one time, and our first phone call conversation was like 2 hours long. I was like at an airport. I was heading to a convention, Retro Create, I think it was the one. Over there, and then we hit it off, and we were talking forever, and then we started collaborating and working together almost immediately after that. And then I never went to Denver again, and you got a different job, but we did go to CES together, so that was a lot of fun. Anyway, thought I would throw that in. So I guess what I'm saying is, when we did that arcade auction, and I saw that you were about to lose the arcade, because later you kept on telling me how it was like one of your favorite games, and there were so many reasons why it was so great, and then you always wanted one, and every single auction we ever did, we were like, man, if I could get that one, I would. And then in that moment, I had to be like, do it.
Yeah, you're a little forceful there, but it's okay.
Yeah. I hope you can do the same, if there's ever a situation where there's something that, that I love, and should I do it or not? So anyway, what else do you want to talk about before you go downstairs?
I don't think anything. Well, I'm married now, so that's cool.
Oh,
so you
right.
guys, you clearly covered that while I was gone, so that was kind of fun that you did that. Yeah, so just so you guys know, that stream was for like family members that couldn't come. I'll take 2 seconds to explain that. So my family couldn't come because to go back to Rhode Island, you have to quarantine for like 14 days. It was a big mess. But anyway, so they didn't feel comfortable traveling and everything like that. So my family wasn't there. So that whole purpose of that stream was so that they could see it. So that was it. But I appreciate you guys doing it. And I was like very, very like touched by all the nice messages and all that stuff. It was really, really cool. And Kim and I watched it together. It was kind of neat because we kind of had this moment where we're like, wow, like this community has grown so much since we
Hmm.
started, and it was just neat because I knew a lot of the names. Like we know a lot of you guys because a lot of you guys are repeat watchers, and it's so cool to
Hmm.
see like the same names and then even new names. So it was really neat. But anyways, I just wanted to take this one moment again to say thank you for all those nice words, and it was really it touched both me and Kim, so it was really cool.
Wow, I managed to touch you, Ralph. That's
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
No,
Well,
and everyone else. So I'm
just don't
really
flux
excited,
my
dude.
tip, okay?
Okay, so I think you need to run downstairs because
Yeah,
I'm really
yeah.
looking
Let's do it.
forward to seeing this, and I'm sure everyone else is as well.
Are those
S-
cameras live? Like, see how is the T2 cam live? Can we
Let's
test it
see.
just to
We
make sure
can.
before I
So
walk down there?
this is downstairs. Let's see. We got a little bit. Why don't you run down there, man? We can start take a look at it.
Yeah.
But
All right.
I think we're just about ready.
Yeah, I'll head down right now.
Yeah. Why
So
don't you do that?
keep everyone at bay, and I'll be downstairs right now.
That's right. While you do that, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take you out. So I wanted to show you guys. I thought it was kind of interesting that obviously the arcade Terminator 2 is different from there's like a game more of a platformer version. But I wanted to show you guys this. Do you guys remember that they actually did a T2 on the Game Boy? Right. So I wanted to look at the graphics on this. Obviously, they're not the greatest, but we're going to be showing you some of the graphics on the arcade version. And the other thing that I thought was really interesting is not only did they do one on Game Gear, or I'm sorry, Game Boy, is what I meant to say. Let me jump to the other one here real quick, as Ralph is getting things. But keep in mind, also there was a version of this on Super Nintendo, and the reason why you probably remember that, yeah, there was a Super Nintendo version of. Hold on, let me remove Ralph. There was a Super Nintendo version of T2 Arcade, but did you guys know or remember that this was like a Super Scope game? Like I have a Super Scope, and I was like, why don't I have the T2 Arcade game for Super Nintendo? I totally forgot, and I remember as a kid playing it, and I wouldn't play it on my shoulder, but you just put it by your hip, and it was a lot of fun. The accuracy of it was a lot of fun. I'm not even sure if Ralph remembers this, but if I show it to him, then he's gonna be like, now I got to get a Super Scope. So Ralph, let's check in on see how he's see how
Yeah,
he's
can you
doing.
hear me okay? I'm down here.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
hear you.
so all right, so we're in front of the you sure? Hello?
Dude, you're coming in loud and clear. I can hear you.
Okay, I couldn't hear you for a second. You went away for a minute.
That's all right.
We're good? All right, cool.
Yeah, man.
You keep muting out. I don't know what's going on.
I'm muting because there's a little bit of echo.
Oh.
Just go.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, so right now we're in front of the T2. This is actually the one that I got. So at auction, it looks really good. We're gonna just cover some basic gameplay stuff first. But the thing that's really tough with these is if you're trying to buy these either at auction or private party, a lot of times the guns, they have this awesome recoil mechanism. And if you're familiar with pinball machines, it's exactly the same. Those solenoids they use, it's very, very similar. And when they're new, they're freaking awesome. And this guy that actually gave this up at auction or sold it at auction, he happened to have just replaced the solenoid. So these things are like you'll probably be able to hear it really, really good on the live stream.
I can totally hear it. In fact, I can hear it really loud. Maybe you can turn it down just a tad on your microphone, and then
Wait,
everyone
what?
can hear it so much better.
What do you mean?
I'm asking you politely to take the volume that's on the microphone and turn it down like 2 notches. Because if
My
I don't tell you
microphone?
this, yeah, your microphone. Because if I don't tell you this, then after the show you're gonna be really mad that I didn't tell you that the microphone was hot.
Okay, this should be better now. I turned it down. All right, so here we go. So let's
That's
get
great.
into the game. I have all of the cameras set up so we can show you some unique features of this game. Be on the lookout for something. So when I start the game, you're gonna notice there's actually some light bulbs that are behind. They're kind of like underneath. And those light bulbs, when things explode on the screen, there's like an etching that you'll see appear, which is super, super cool, but you can't see it to the naked eye right now. Like right now, you guys can't see anything. It doesn't look like there's anything etched in the glass. It doesn't look like there's anything there. But so just keep that in mind because it's one of those things that people miss a lot of times when they play this under emulation. They're like, oh yeah, it's an okay game, but you have no idea how like the lengths Midway went to make sure that this game just really, I hate to use this word because it's Zhang's word, you know. It's like I feel like Zhang has it trademarked, but this game has such an immersive experience. It's incredible, and a lot of it has to do with certain elements they added to the game. So I'm gonna press start really quick, and then I'm gonna show you like test menus and stuff like that. But wait till you hear the solenoids on this gun. So it gives you a little brief overview. 3 billion human lives. I already missed it. They lived only to face a new nightmare: the war against the machines. So I don't know if you guys can hear that, the solenoids, but they are like, for one, the force feedback amount, like the pressure is like, it's strong.
That's right. So what we're talking about here, what we're looking at is a real arcade, just to make sure everyone understands. You'll see a little bit of flickering on the screen itself.
Yet, so you won't see it yet because I didn't get hit yet. So hold on, I'll let myself.
I'm just describing how this is a CRT, so you'll see lines running through it, but that's just the camera. There it is.
Can you guys see that? Yeah. So.
Did you guys notice that on the left-hand side? We actually positioned the camera in just a way so it kind of exaggerates this experience, and you can see it. But when you notice how we're coming at the game at an angle. But if you're from Ralph's point of view, when those explosions happens, it's the camera's picking it up and making it like very obvious that it's there, but it feels like immersive, like he's talking about as a part of the game.
Yeah, so can you see that right now? I'm kind of letting some of these things hit me so you can see that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I don't know if you can hear how exactly loud these solenoids are. They're really loud, and then the one over here is just as good, so I'll try to dual gun it a little bit for a second.
Oh, man. Jeez.
The gun upgrades, you gotta pay attention to these boxes when you're playing this game because there's gun upgrades you can get. The gun upgrades make it so much fun. Oh shoot. Now because I'm using both of them at the same time, I can't shoot my bombs off, but you have these bombs that you can shoot from the side buttons. I'll kind of do dual bombs right now. That noise you hear is if I have them on target and I shoot a bomb, it gives you that noise. It was funny because I played this game one time under emulation, and there was a comment when someone said, "Oh, that's not what the original arcade game did." I was like, "No, it did that. You just probably never heard it or wasn't paying attention because it's always done that."
Right. So I have to ask. So just where are all the elements? So obviously you got a CRT screen, but there's speakers, right? So where are the speakers located?
So the speakers are right here. So like you're kind of looking right at, like the way you have to sit to play this or stand to play this. You're kind of like looking in. So It's interesting because the speakers are right above your head. They're right here. So it's very, very loud. Like if I put it up, would it be distracting if I put it up just a tiny bit more?
It's already pretty loud as it is.
All right, so I won't, but
you could take your microphone clip and kind of put it near it so we can kind of hear the audio and then stop on the recoil just for a second.
Yeah, here.
Because I want to make sure everyone understands there's speakers above. That's where it's a little hot. So you got sound effects from the game there. Then you actually hear sound coming from the guns themselves. And this is what Ralph is talking about, is that immersive experience. And then there's light bulbs that are flashing when you get hit. And maybe you can explain, Ralph, we're not actually looking directly at a CRT, right?
No, so that's what's super cool. So you guys may not realize this. The CRT is being displayed off of glass. The CRT is actually down here, faced. So I'll try to explain this to you guys. The screen is faced
while you're
that
describing
way.
it, maybe you can turn down the audio and stop the recoil just for a little bit. There we go. Come on, Ralph. Let's hear your beautiful voice.
I don't want to die though. So let me just. So this game is notorious for being difficult. So I'm just going to kind of shoot some missiles while I'm talking about it. So the monitor is actually. Imagine if this screen was in front of us like it is, right? Like it appears to be. Flip it this way and put it down, and it's like this, and the mirror is displaying it like that. There's a mirror in here.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It's really cool. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Let us know in the chat if that makes sense. So they're actually drawing the game kind of upside down in reverse, and then the mirror brings it back to.
Yep.
So if you were to look down and see the CRT, you would see the words.
I can show you guys. I can show you guys that if you want. Well, maybe we'll do that in a little bit because I have that. Well, actually, you know what? If I take that little handy mic, I could probably show it to you really quick.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's switch over to the handy mic.
Just really, really quick, and then we'll go back to the game. I just don't want to die.
All right.
So I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you see it? The CRT's down there.
That's really cool.
That's the CRT. Pretty neat,
so
right?
this is a very deep cabinet, right? Maybe you could show us the side of it, if you can.
It's super. Yeah, it's pretty like.
Come with me if you want to live.
It's very wide. It's a very wide cabinet. And we're going to go in. I'm going to show you more about how you access dip switches and all that stuff in a second. I just want to get a little further in the game. So if we can kill this one, and I'll go back to the game.
That's upstairs.
We'll go back to the game real quick. So the other thing people may not know, I don't know, am I on right now?
Yeah.
The other thing people may not know is there was a conversion kit to convert a T2 to a Revolution X.
Mm-hmm.
So if an arcade owner was like kind of spent with T2, they could. Can you hear me over the gun or?
It's all right. The
so
gun
I'll
is really
shooting.
loud.
I'll stop shooting for a second.
Okay.
So I'll just use missiles.
Really doesn't want to die.
I don't. So the thing is, because the boss is awesome at the end of this level. He's pretty tough too.
Whoa.
Could you hear that? That's like a nuke that you can. Yeah, it's a nuke you can set off.
Yeah.
And he's like.
So you were
"Hasta la
talking
vista,
about
baby."
Aerosmith.
Yeah. So there was a conversion kit that an arcade owner could convert a T2 to a Revolution X, which is that Aerosmith-based game. You know, music is the weapon or something like that. I can't remember the term they used for that game, but yeah, it was pretty cool. They actually used Aerosmith. The real band went and recorded at Midway. There's a whole article in a new magazine. There's a magazine that I read quite often that, here's my better gun. This gun is awesome. So this gun steps it up.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. Like, I can't explain to you how awesome this game feels this is exactly how I remember it. It's just crazy. It's just so much fun.
Yeah, look at all the layers they have in this game, you know? Like as it's going by, there's just like multiple backgrounds and the D1000s are coming out at you.
The Sega Genesis was total joke when they tried to make this game on the Sega Genesis.
Well, someone was saying the Sega one was good. It was better than
it wasn't bad, but the thing is, like, you know, you so desperately wanted it to be like the arcade, and you knew it wasn't. So I guess I was disappointed because I wanted it to be more like the arcade. But I also didn't own a Menacer, so if it worked with the Menacer, someone in the chat maybe that used it on the Menacer might have said that might have been a cool experience. I didn't have a Menacer,
So we have a question in the chat. But the real question is, does this version have blood?
You know, I don't know. I don't recall there being blood in the game somewhere, but there probably is somewhere. I don't know.
Like if you shoot one of the humans, is there blood?
I don't think so. Let's kill this guy. No, there's no blood.
Oh,
and I don't think there's an option either to turn blood on. To be honest.
Man, this is the worst game ever.
Yeah, I know, right? It sucks. Who the hell programmed?
I don't know. We did an entire video on a game that doesn't have blood.
Yeah, I know. It's such a joke. So here's one of the bosses of this thing. You got to like take out these certain weapons. Like, so you take out this right one first. You don't have to. Well, I didn't take it out. Hold on. Let's get him. And then you got to be careful with the power of your gun. So see how right now, if I let it go for too long, it starts to shoot slower and slower. That's by design. So you have to kind of your gun has like power levels, so you have to make sure you're not like draining the power level of your gun. Now I'm missiling the crap out of this thing to hopefully destroy him quick. But
so we have a few questions. Floyd was saying, so with this one, what was your all-in cost?
Well, the shipping was $425. So
dang.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a little high, you know, like not gonna lie, it was a little high when you start talking about things, but the condition of it is so good. Like, if you don't always get lucky like that at auction, by the way. Conditions of stuff at auction is not always great, so you gotta be careful on that. Like, that's why I kind of view it as like, take your budget, figure out what your budget is, and kind of calculate shipping with it. Like, give yourself at least a $400 budget for shipping. So it kind of almost makes sense to buy multiple machines, because even with multiple machines, your shipping's about the same. It's not that much different. So like, I got another machine, my shipping might have been like $450 or something like that. It doesn't change much. So at the end of each screen, it does like sort of a system check. Like this is really cool. It says analyzing your performance. It's just like you would imagine from the movie. And then it gives you a little bit of like information about how accurate you were. Obviously my accuracy was totally terrible on some of this, but yeah, it's just, if you've never played it, it's just an amazing game. But I almost feel like you're doing yourself a disservice to not at least experience it, the arcade version of it, at least one time, because it's so incredibly good.
Yeah. So, you know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see the dip switches,
let's go.
the menu.
Yeah, let's go through that. So if you kill this, can you still hear me though? If you kill this and because I'm going to put some light on, which is going to create some glare, but it's going to be good to see the dip switches and stuff. So will you be still able to hear me if I?
Yep.
Okay. All right. We'll go to you still hear me? All right.
Yep.
All right. You're in charge of that. So all right. So you got there's some very cool, unique things about this cabinet that I want to show you. The first one is like, how do I access the dip switches? So it's pretty convenient in this system. Another thing I'm super shocked at, when you get games either by auction or private party, almost never, like literally almost never, are the sorry, these aren't LEDs. The bulbs are almost always blown out. I was shocked to see. Yes, I was shocked to see that these were working. And now I'll give you a little bit of a tip here. Something that I do is I often replace them with these. So these are LEDs, but I didn't have to. So when I'm ready, I'll replace them with these. They're just little LED lights. You can put them in here. They're super bright. I put them in almost every arcade I have because these are almost always dead. And I was shocked to see that they were not dead. That's like, this is almost always dead. Like always. It's like almost never. So I'm just shocked that whoever took such, I know, are they ever always dead? All right, so check it out. So we're gonna go in here. So in here, you're gonna have two options here. You're gonna have, can you see that okay? Yeah, right? I know it's gonna be a little dark, but this is just,
this is cool.
It says test and service, and this is volume. So if I just adjust this, it's just a potentiometer, it's an analog like potentiometer. You turn it and it'll get louder. But here, if I hit this little test switch, it automatically puts the arcade into test mode.
No.
So you can see now.
There we go. Now we do have a question about that coin door. Can we go back to that just for a second? So the question is, how often do you buy those and the LED is broken?
Well, they're not LEDs, they're bulbs, but they're almost always broken.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're almost always broken. I know. I can repeat myself sometimes. I know. I realize that. It's okay. I'm self-aware.
Let's look at the menu.
I'm self-aware, like a Terminator can be, or Skynet can be. Okay, so I'm gonna put this down then.
Okay.
And if you want to go back to the other camera, you'll be able to see the test screen a little bit better. Okay, I'm gonna kill this light so there's not a lot of glare. So hopefully you guys can see that okay. So what you've got here is this is all the arcade owner configurables. So this is really neat. Think about it, right? It tells you the revision of the board. This was November 1st, 1991. So there you go. Now you know how old this board is. But how you navigate this menu is you've got your start button for player 1 and player 2. That gets you up and down. So you got to imagine, like, there's no joystick on this. So how do I go up and down? It's with the start. You can start with the top. It's diagnostic menus. So this is really like, this isn't that interesting, but it could be if you're a arcade owner and you're like, something's not working, you can go and say, all right, give me a CPU test. So it'll go through and do some basic tests of the CPU, right? And it'll tell you, hey, is everything good? Are all the ROM chips working? So this is something that typically during,
pretty cool screen.
Yeah, this is typically something during post that most arcades do anyway. But if for some reason it's up and running and they're like, hey, I think there might be some issues, this is something that they would do. And if I hold the start button, it'll exit, or it should exit. There we go, it exits that out. And so it does some other things, like if you want to do like monitor test patterns, you can test red. This is actually important because before Justin and I started the show, I moved the arcade. And I don't know if you guys realize this, but arcades, when you move them, CRTs, sometimes they need to be degaussed. Like you'll have a corner of the screen that'll be like a rainbow color, right? And so what you'll do is you'll get one of these things. I'm going to try to get the camera to see it. This is a big one, but see this little ring right here? I'm going to turn it on for a second. Tell me if you can hear this. Can you hear it?
It's scary. What do you? Oh, yes. God.
Yeah. So basically, you would right now, if this was the CRT, which it's not, right? That's the glass reflection of the CRT. What you do is you typically go in a round circular fashion, and you'd back away, and then you would typically see the discoloration drag off the monitor. But it's really hard to do it if you can't see the colors. So you could go here and say, all right, let me see red. Now I didn't degauss it that good, so you can almost see there's a little bit of blue in the corners or some gray fading. That's because I needed to do a better job. But this screen allows me to kind of get a good idea of, does it need to be degaussed? Did I do a good job and things like that? So it's really cool. And these things, they're not scary, but if you you can't run them for that long.
If you go to that red screen for a second and then turn it on, it gets real scary real quick.
Yeah, it does. It looks scary.
Show them just for a second.
Well,
right?
I might mess up the color though, but
just do it for a second.
All right, so you'll see.
You ready? Ah!
Yeah.
That's scary.
So yeah.
All right, so the menu's pretty cool.
Yeah, so we'll go back to more interesting menus. So if you go back to the main menu, the things that arcade owners are interested in is the bookkeeping, right? Like how much money is my game making?
Yeah, how much money have you made since you got this arcade?
So this one is actually showing you. All right, let's see. Right slot coins plays until HS reset. So if anybody wants to, I don't know what HS reset is.
High score.
Let's see, more detail.
Plays until high score.
So
reset?
all right, so I reset it. So I've spent $8 on it but I also have a lot of I have multiple bombs enabled, so I've made it kind of easy because I just wanted to coast through the game. But yeah, so I don't know.
Have you beaten it yet?
No, not yet.
How long do you think it takes to beat a game like that?
There's one level, I don't know if you guys in the chat, if you guys remember, there's one level that's the biggest pain in the ass. It's my Achilles heel in this game. It's the one where the helicopter is there and it's trying to smash into the back of your van. I almost always need to enable the second player to get by it. I enable the second player and I kind of cheat because you gotta shoot them right at this one spot. It's super hard and it can be so frustrating. But yeah, I don't know if you guys remember that. But yeah, so that's kind of, so here it shows you that. I don't know if 4,974 might be the total. I'm not sure. So let's see, we'll go through a couple more of these. There's game audits where you can see some specific statistics, total plays. So 92 total plays since I've had it. My total play time has been 1 hour and 28 minutes. Now the game uptime says 13 hours. I'm not sure if that means since I reset it.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like an odometer. Is it something you can't reset, or?
No, I think I reset all of it.
Someone replaced the battery, it's going to reset. Well, unless it's a EEPROM, I guess.
No, I think that goes away. So here you can make some changes to game difficulty, like standard pricing. Like, what do you want it to cost? The other thing that's crazy is you can set how long you want someone to be able to play before their quarter is gone. Like, you can basically say, look, even if they're really good, I only want them to be able to play for 45 seconds, and then they'll have to put another quarter in. So you can kind of be,
Is it like a timer, or you'll definitely die in 45 seconds? How's that?
No, it's pretty smart. The AI just steps it up to kind of make it more difficult. You'll see. I can't remember where that setting is. Yeah, here it is. So the minimum time in seconds the player is guaranteed to receive for each play. So if you're really good, you might be able to exceed this. But yeah, it's 45 seconds. So with that, this is set for 25 cents, which is not what this game was. I think this game was I want to say this game, it depended on arcade, obviously. I think at my arcade, this was a 50-cent game or a $1 game, especially when it first came out. It was pretty expensive, I remember. So imagine you pay $1 and you're only playing for 45 seconds. Kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Right? But you can adjust that here. You can say hey, I'd like someone to be able to play
jerks.
for. Yeah, but look, you can do it 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So
that's
you can,
minimum, right? So it's the minimum amount of time that. No, I think it's the other way around, right? It's saying okay, they're going to pay $1 for this game, so let them play for at least 45 seconds before the...
Yep.
Man.
Yeah, at least 45 seconds.
I mean, it's good, but if you keep that really low...
Yeah, and you can set your bombs per game, so the bombs are really low. The factory setting's only 25, and you'll go through 25 bombs super fast. So if someone set this game difficulty at let's say they put it at, it's really funny too, because it has extra easy, easier, easy. So it has 3 levels of easy. It has extra easy, easier, and easy, and then it has easy, medium, easy. It's almost like they were having fun with this. The developers are how many levels of easy can we have? So then there's medium easy, medium hard, harder, and extra hard, and then there's we'll just put another one that's extra hard. I don't know if they just didn't label it.
Ran out of room.
Yeah, there's a 9 extra hard, and then there's extra hard. And then for those of you that Midway games, their menus are very similar. So if I was using like if this was NBA Jam, the menu system almost looks identical on NBA Jam. Midway.
So you got to crank this up to 10, and let's see how long you can last. Come on. Are you there, Ralph? Did we lose Ralph? What's going on?
No, I'm here.
Hey. Okay, I lost you for a second. So, what did I miss?
Oh, so I said you can set it for free play too, which means you don't accept quarters. Now I have like, if I go to, let's see. Oh, it doesn't do it well. I'll show you in a second. I'll show you that in a second. So yeah, so we'll go through the rest of these settings really quick. Energy per play. So it's the amount of energy a player receives each time he starts or continues a game. So you can actually start, I don't know anybody that would do this. You could say like when you start, you have less than 100%. I mean, that's kind of a messed up thing, I guess. Like why would you start someone at less than 100 is kind of messed up.
They're just giving the arcade all the options. Don't blame the engineer. Come on.
Well, I'm sure someone in sales said do this, right? Like do it like this. So right now I have it so check this out. I have it in free play. Listen to what happens if I try to make it cost money. Listen to what Arnold says.
No way, Jose. Jose. No way, Jose.
So yeah, so it won't let me adjust the amount of money that the game costs because it's in free play right now.
No way, Jose.
So and I do have it in free play right now. There's some attract mode sounds. Like, do you want attract mode? So a lot of people complain actually about like. Someone was talking about if we refer back to the MVSX, they're like, how come the games don't go in attract mode? And it's because the way they have that game menu set up is it's not going to auto-select a game for you. If they did that, though, like they could make it so that if you're dormant on that main UI for a little while, it'll select a game. And then as long as you select the arcade ROM, it will, as long as attract mode is enabled, it will go into attract mode. So that's something they could easily do if they wanted to, like basically select a game for me I don't know if they wanted to do that. I know some people have complained about that. Arcade 1-Up, same thing. I don't think.
No, they do.
Do the new ones do it? The new ones do it, right?
Almost all of them do it. Final Fight is one that doesn't. Like out of all, like it's almost like they forgot to do it in Final Fight. So you just leave it on the menu, and it will auto select for you, and it'll eventually get into the game. What I'm waiting for someone to do, and maybe this is something that Neo Geo, the SNK MVSX could do, is where it detects that you're in the menu and you're basically, not doing anything, right? And you have a settings option that's like attract mode turned on. And then if you just leave it there for 5 minutes or something, then it would spawn the emulator, take you into the game, set a local timer to be like, if they don't press anything, then exit this game automatically and go into the next game. So then it could just basically attract mode through all the games, because I know there's some people that want that. I don't know if anyone has told them, like, that's a feature people would want, because a lot of people are just playing these home arcades, but also they're leaving them in the background, and they just love the display of it as well. But even Arcade 1-Up, it has that attract mode, but it won't take you back to the menu and select another game. But honestly, it's not that hard to do.
So I wanted to show you guys one other thing, if I could. This is kind of one of those cool things about the cabinet, because I feel like we should go through some of those cool features of the cabinet. So I'm going to put this on. So underneath the cabinet, this is like almost every arcade cabinet in existence, by the way. But if I reach under here, I'll try to switch. Most arcade cabinets have this.
Oh,
so check this out. I'm going to reach under here. I haven't actually done this yet on this one. Typically, there's two
what are you doing?
So
is there high voltage down there?
No. There's typically 2 latches on each side of the control panel of something like this. Sometimes it's 1, it depends. And those latches can be, so if I'm an arcade owner and I come in and say, hey man, my guns aren't working right, I think they need to be replaced. This whole panel.
Whoa.
Yeah, this whole panel can be detached. So I can take this whole panel off.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, so like, I don't know how much, let me see how much leeway I have without this thing coming crashing down.
Stringer Films is like, dude, where's your oven mitts? Come on.
So see, I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you see the CRT now?
Yeah, that's pretty
now
cool.
You can see it, yeah, so it's pretty cool, right? And then there's one other thing I can't find. So there should be a coin counter that tells you like, ever since it's been in operation, how long. I can't find it for some reason. Typically it's
like
right
an analog. like an old school like odometer thing?
It's just a counter. Yeah, it tells you how many it basically tells you like how many plays it's had, and I can't find it on this one, which is really weird. But the other thing that's cool is see this little breakout board right here. This
Yeah.
will let you adjust. So obviously, if you're an arcade, like if you're a single technician and you go in, how am I going to adjust the brightness and stuff if I have to do it behind the cabinet, I can't see what's going on. So some arcade owners would have like mirrors, right? They'd have a little like
Right.
mirror that they could see around the corner, but then they started getting smart and putting these here, so you can adjust the brightness and contrast and all that stuff from this little breakout board.
Very nice.
So yeah, so it's really cool. A lot of modern-ish arcades have those.
So this is 91, so yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put this back on. Ooh, there's like a dead bug or something inside there.
Hey, it came free with the cabinet. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Usually it's at least not a dead rat. That happens a lot. Okay, so that's back on.
So Daniel wants
Now
to know,
the-
is there a degaussing button on the board? I don't think so, right?
I don't think this one has that. If it does, then I feel stupid because
Yeah,
I've been
you're
manually
That
degaussing
definitely.
it. So.
Let's look. I think that's one of what we're going to look at soon, right? Another really cool thing about this machine, as we show, you can probably have to go to the mobile cam. There's another latch that allows
Yeah,
you
this is super
to
cool.
gain access to something really cool.
Yeah, so hold on. Let me just get this back latched because I don't want it to, if we go back to gameplay, I don't want it to like fall off. All right, we'll do that. I'm going to get this back into, I don't know where that counter went, man.
Excellent.
Okay, let's go. Let me turn this volume down a tiny bit. I'm actually going to use the better camera. I'm going to see if I can get a shot of it. So we're going to go, unless you want me to use the mobile cam. What do you think?
Let's do mobile cam.
Okay, so let me get this back up to there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, hook me up with the mobile cam and I'll show you something really neat. Okay, so this is genius. Really, really cool stuff. So there's this access. Let me get more light on this too so you can see it a little bit better. Sorry for the condition of this room. The room's a little bit dirty and stuff, but all right, if you go back to the mobile cam, we should be good, Justin. All right, so check it out. So right here, there's this panel and you're like, what does this do? Like, why is this here?
What's in there?
Yeah, so this comes off. There's a latch. I unlatched it prior to starting it, but there's this latch that comes off. And then what's super cool about this, like this is so neat, you guys. So imagine an arcade, like right now, I can almost fully service this machine. You know, right now, as from what you've seen, I can go in here, I can do the test menus, I can open up the gun and get access to that, I can see most of the stuff, but this is the coolest part. So this little sled that pops out, and it gives you full access to the entire PCB. So,
Beautiful,
which
dude.
is,
And it,
yeah,
and it
which
looks
is really-
great too. Look at that.
It's in actually really good condition.
Did you have to
for-
blow air in there or anything like
No,
that?
that's the thing. This came like this. So the one thing about Midway boards, though, you're probably wondering like, why is it so long? Midway boards were interesting. They had separate sound cards. So this board right here,
It's like
yeah,
the NBA Jam, right?
NBA Jam had it. Mortal Kombat, anything that was Midway pretty much had around this time period had this external. You can't really see it back there. It's back there. It had a separate soundboard. So if I disconnected the soundboard, the game would still run. I just have no sound. So it's almost like a sound card was to a PC back in the day, right? When PCs didn't have sound
Right.
cards and you had to
Right.
install one. Same kind of thing. Excuse me. Yeah, so here's your JAMA harness and everything. You've got some manual dip switches, but I think most of the dip switches on this game, you can adjust them in software, so you don't really have to do that very much. But I was just shocked because, think about it, this is from 1991, and it looks really good. I don't know. Let me see, maybe there's some.
Is there that's the power supply, right? Is that a lot of regulators on there? But it all looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks really good. There's a little bit, a little oxidation on those two chips right there, but I don't know, maybe that's just. But yeah, no, everything looks good.
Yeah.
The common problem with these, though, it happens a lot. It happens with a lot of Midway games. Actually, anything that's older, but the ROM chips, sometimes you'll boot up the game and you'll have a problem. I wouldn't advise doing it while it's powered up, but you power it down and you just push on the chips if they get loose or something. So I actually had that problem when this got delivered. It was like
Because of
one
the
or two.
shipping, right?
Yeah, one or two of these chips had just kind of like rattled out a little bit. Not rattled out, but enough that that maybe one of the pins wasn't making connections. So I pressed on it. Actually, how I found that out, I didn't know that this is a common issue with this particular board. But I went to like TNT Amusements and he was talking about this in one of his videos. That guy's awesome, by the way. I don't know him personally, but he's
funny, too.
Yeah, he's super funny. So
So
you can see
between
there's,
1 and 10, someone asked, do you rate this find since they're hard to come by and good, in good condition these days? So what's the condition of this 1 to 10?
Oh gosh, it's pretty
You think
good,
it?
man. I mean, I'd say like for the age and everything, I'd say it's like at least an 8.5, at least, like probably eight and a
Right.
half.
So
Yeah, because there's certain
if
things like you look like the tea molding, it could use,
right.
but those are like easy things, right? Like tea
Yeah.
molding doesn't cost very much, but it's chewed up, but you
So
kind of expect that.
if money wasn't an option, or what am I trying to say? If money, what's the expression? If money wasn't a challenge, right? If you had all the
Isn't that
money in
the
the
option?
world, what would you do to make the cabinet better?
Uh, like if I bought it the way I did and I had endless funds to like
Yeah.
renovate it,
Yeah.
I don't know, dude, because the
Like a guy
guns
comes,
just
an
got.
arcade dealer, he's like, I'm gonna renovate this 100%. It's on me. It's not gonna cost you a penny. What would you tell him to fix?
I mean, there's some oxidation on like the speaker grill. I'd say aesthetically, you could re-artwork package it if you wanted. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
not necessary. It's like there's some things that I haven't even tried to clean off yet. A lot of times, good if you pick these up, it sounds kind of stupid. I got this tip from Joe Sabo.
Mm-hmm.
Get like a magic eraser and kind of like you're not gonna want to like leave that stuff on here, but you could take a magic eraser and get a lot of this grime and stuff off of it. It'll make it
Just
look 10 times better. Yeah, like you can just once over like this coin door's got some muck and stuff. So, but like things like this, that's definitely like that's just scuffed up. Like that could just be replaced or refinished if you want. But I mean, sometimes it depends. Like some people like the character of it kind of looking a little bit worn too. Like it just depends on what. if you
Tony
want it to
mentions
look.
a good thing. It's actually, that's kind of like character, not something
Yeah,
that you
exactly, that's
necessarily
what-
need
yeah.
to fix.
Yeah, I mean, like this is common. You get an arcade like this, the bottom of it's going to look like this. More likely than not, like
Okay,
so
yeah.
many of mine, the bottoms and the front are all chewed up, and that's from constant moving or a dolly or someone put something that just like it chips the wood. So that's kind of to be expected. Like see that kind of on the side, like
Yep.
that's kind of normal stuff. I don't ever really feel that stuff doesn't bother me so much because it's just kind of what when they age, that's how it ends up being. But like, you look at the overall artwork, it looks pretty good. Like the font still looks nice.
Man,
and there's not a lot of scuffs.
if I had an arcade like that, I would return it back to Sam's immediately. Oh wait,
What?
never mind. Nothing.
So it looks really good. Let me see if I can get the side art for you really quick. It might be better to do the other camera, but let's see if I can swing over the side for a minute. We've got lots of cameras all over the place right now, but we'll try to. So can you? Oh shoot, I'm tripping over something. Hold on. But the side of it looks really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I mean, they did a good job. I'll see if I can get. Let me take the direct light off the marquee. I'm shocked that another thing that always is broken on these marquee lights, always broken. Marquees, but the light bulb is almost never on in here. And let me see if I can get the camera to focus in on it real quick. So right now it's kind of levelizing the camera. You can totally tell like it's pretty well, the light's distributed pretty good and the artwork's actually really good. So like, I don't know if someone replaced this or if it's an original. It looks kind of good to be an original,
Yeah.
but it could be. I mean, it has all the 1991 Midway Manufacturing, and then what was the name of that company? It's Caralco Pictures, and then it says sub-licensed from Acclaim Entertainment. Oh, maybe that wouldn't have been. That probably wouldn't have been. That's kind of maybe a giveaway. I don't think Acclaim would have had anything to do with the original arcade release, would they?
I don't know.
I don't know. So yeah, so it's just like, it's really, really neat, man. If I could swing around the back, I could show you guys. If I could, are people interested in seeing the inside of the back?
Well,
I
if
mean,
you ask, of course they're going to want to see the back of it. But we said this is going to be really tough. If you're going to go this far, you're going to have to move it. Why don't you show us that if you move this cabinet, because you live in Arizona and it's really weird, they don't have time zones there, the magnetic field is all messed up. If you move this just a little bit, the whole screen goes orange.
Well, it doesn't go orange, but I did want to. I did want to let you guys know I'm not creepy and weird. I had put up that blanket because I'm not like, I don't live in a creepy weird house where I like block the window. Shut up.
Sure.
So I could try to open up the back if you guys want.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so I'm gonna put the main cam down. Maybe take me off camera for a minute. So unless you guys want to see me doing it, can you talk?
No,
while
I'm
doing it? Do you
gonna,
mind-
yeah. I'm gonna, why don't you go ahead and do it? I switched
Well, it
over
might
to
be
the,
interesting for them to see me move it because.
they want to
like-
see you move a cabinet? No.
No,
We
no,
want to
just to
see
see
the
how difficult it
screen
is.
turn orange. Come on.
All right, well, let me see how I can potentially move this. All right, hold on.
He's
I
a
also need
creepy
to scoot-
guy. He
I also-
walks
I also-
outside, and as the kids go by, he's like, "Come with me if you want to live."
Yes, that's exactly. How did you know? I do that all the time. I don't know if I have a screwdriver down here. That's the only problem. So hold on. Let me try to find a Phillips head screwdriver really quick, and then I'll get back. So you can talk amongst
Alexa,
yourselves for a moment.
turn on arcades. Damn it! Got stupid headphones on.
Yeah, I know. Hold on. Let me find a. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but you broke up for a
Okay,
second.
I walked away, but I'm trying to see if I can find a Phillips head screwdriver. I might have to go upstairs really fast to find.
Oh my gosh! All right, so Ralph is here. He's trying to find a Phillips screwdriver, and then here we are, trying to show you guys how cool the Terminator 2 cabinet is, and Ralph is so unprepared that he doesn't have a screwdriver. Like, dude, there
You know
should be a
that, right?
screwdriver within like 6 feet of you, any room you walk into.
I hear you still.
Are you? Oh, sorry. Are you even an engineer? Come on. Oh, wait a second. Look at Ralph. He found a screwdriver. All right, so Ralph's coming back down. Come on, Ralph.
I'm almost there. I'm
Give
there,
us a
almost.
screwdriver.
Shut
Come on,
up.
screwdriver.
Okay, I'm back.
All right. Oh,
I can already see the. Can you already see?
I want to see it.
when
I want to see it.
The corner went red. You can kind of
look
see
at
it. You'll
that.
see it. You'll see it. in a second.
Yeah. The magnetic field of the Earth is causing the CRT
on.
to change
I'm all
colors.
tangled. Yeah, hold on. You'll see it. I'm moving it again. All right, I'm almost there. Am I gonna hit anything? Am I gonna hit my Galaga machine, or can you not see that?
Let's see. Let's see if the other camera is like let's see. We can kind of see it. Look, you're good. You got like a couple inches. You could go a little further.
I don't want to hit it though. Hold on, I'm trying to adjust this so I can. Can you guys? Ah! I stepped on a screw. Ah!
Oh man.
Can you guys see that? Okay.
We can see it. You know what's really, really cool? You know what I can see? I can see. It's the arcade one-up countercade.
Hold on. All right. Okay. Calm down. I'm trying to give myself a little bit more room here. Hold on. Okay, this is such a nightmare moving this, by the way. So thank you very much. Even though I told you I didn't want to do this for the show.
I know.
but-
Like before the show, you think we should show behind the cat? I'm like, no. No one wants to see the. And then he has to ask the question.
Well, I knew everyone would say yes, but
Why'd you ask the question?
I don't know because I kind of wanted to show it.
Okay, now I want to. Now I do want to see the inside because I haven't seen the inside yet.
Okay, so it's pretty cool. You can see like the original label here. You see how many amps it drew. It says Terminator 2, the model number. This was the company that bought it or had ownership of it at one point. It says, I'm sure it doesn't exist anymore, Central Amusement Company of, what's North Glasgow? What's NS?
North Glasgow.
What's New Glasgow?
New Glasgow.
Where the hell's New Glasgow?
Canada?
Oh, it's in Canada. It is. It was in Canada. Oh, Canadian, qu'est-ce que c'est? It's a Canadian Terminator. How about that?
Wow,
didn't
that's really
realize that.
cool.
Yeah.
So,
where's
Juan says
Michael
that
B.
you
the Game
need.
Genie?
Yeah, Juan says you need a T2 pinball.
Well,
and
that's
I
one
don't,
of my favorite pinball games too. So
I'm wondering if they don't know. They don't. Some people may not know.
oh, that I'd modded the Toy Shark.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
I
not
mean,
original though.
Yeah, but
Digital.
know, it's still a thing.
Yeah, true. All right, so All right, guys. So you take this piece of wood. This is super freaking heavy, by the way. And then, you're gonna see the monitor's all messed up back there. You'll see it's all red. But hopefully, let's see. I can't see the screen anymore, so I don't know what you're seeing. So maybe.
Oh, we can
let
see
me
the
know
CRT. What's going on? All the letters are backwards. Can you explain again why?
Because it's on see that thing right there on the top? That's the mirror. This right
Whoa.
here.
That's actually pretty cool.
That's the mirror right there. So I don't know if I have access to the handy cam right now, but let's see, because maybe I can move this down a little bit, but it's tough to see it, but it's up here, is right up here. Can you see where I'm pointing?
Yeah, I can see.
The light bulbs are right here. I'm going to turn the game on so you can see these things light up, and what you'll see, what you guys can't see to the naked eye, is those explosions are etched in the glass.
Whoa.
Which is super cool. Yeah, so
Can you get the handy cam?
I could try. Let's see. Why am I
While you
calling
do
it a
that-
handy cam, by the way? What does that even mean?
I don't know. It's like
Handy cam?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess so.
And I guess Stringer Films is giving me crap because I didn't say his Stringer Film. So Stringer Film, you did a super chat, but it was kind of dumb. So like I reserve the right to be able to not say a super chat.
wow. You're getting
but he
awful
said,
aggressive.
yeah, well,
What?
it says, where can I buy that special green window tape? So honest question, Ralph, where did you pick up that green tape? He's got to know.
He's being a jerk. Home Depot. He's being a jerk. All right, can you see those lights flashing? Maybe I don't know. I'm all right. Yeah, actually, go back. Go quick to the handy cam. Handy cam.
Oh my God, you're giving me seizures, Ralph.
Do you see that?
That is awesome.
Yeah, and the glass, the lighting effect is right there. You can't really see it very good, but yeah. So it's a miracle. Who would have thought I could have picked up one of these where the lights are actually still good? Like, or they replaced them for me. Like, that's insane.
You know what it is? It's those Canadians. They like really take care of their arcades.
Apparently they
do,
which is cool. That's freaking
Yeah.
awesome. And there you can see, if you go back to, if you want to see, I can try to show you how to. The other thing too is this is a little bezel that's here. So the bezel around the monitor. But yeah, so replacing the monitor on this would be a little bit of a pain in the butt when you think about it, because typically replacing the monitor on an arcade, you're pulling it out of the front. But imagine having to pull it out of this. This is going to be such a pain in the ass to pull it out, because you have to, I don't know how you would. I guess you'd have to maybe take the glass out, because I don't see any other way you would be able to do it. You'd almost have to.
You have to do me a favor. Can you show me? Because I don't know. I don't know a lot about this. Can you show me where the chassis is?
Sure, you're being a smart ass, but sure. So this is where the danger.
Because everyone's saying don't touch it.
Yeah, you don't want to touch it. I can try to get some light so you can see this better, but do you want to do that really fast? Light it up?
Yeah. Light it up.
Well, then get it off the handy cam for a second, because it's going to be all over the place.
Okay. While he adjusts that, check this out, guys. If you haven't seen it, you don't need to watch this video. I'm not going to recommend that you go watch this video. Please don't, because the only thing important about this video is this scene right here. I'm showing it to you, and here it is. And I'm sorry, I gotta unmute it.
Do you own a toy shop?
Come with me if you want to live.
Anyway. So
That was one of my favorite.
Yeah, so this is, just so you know, this is the love that Retro Ralph has for T2. He took a toy shock, turned it into a toy shark by modding it to a T2 pinball. And this is something you still have it, right? Do you still have it?
Yeah, I still have it.
Adam's Family.
Yeah. Anyway,
I still
It's
have it.
kinda cool.
Okay, so I can't see what you can see, but hopefully you can see it right now. I'm not looking at the camera, so hopefully you can see it. So yeah, so there's that whole thing that comes off of. See how there's like these metal brackets that come on each side of the monitor. You see that?
yeah, I see it.
That's the monitor chassis. So that whole thing is the
I see.
chassis, and then you look down there. There's your main board that that's technically that's a lot of times people just.
That's the thing that slid out earlier, right? All the way on the left.
No. Oh yeah. No, that is. But the board underneath is sort of the circuitry for your CRT. That sometimes people just call that the chassis. I don't know. People will call things different things. Like so coming off the monitor, that board that's right there. That's called the neck. That's called the neck board. And if you look, there's a bunch of see those can you see those dials down there?
Yeah, is that the chassis?
No. The chassis is typically that. That board is typically just called the chassis, monitor chassis. But
I thought you said that was a neck board.
No, the neck board is the thing connected to this tube. See
Okay,
this
so
right
the
here?
neck board
That-
connects to the chassis.
Now you're being a jerk. Yeah, well, it does. Yes, it does connect to the chassis. Why are you saying chassis?
Because it's pronounced chassis.
Okay. Anyways, I'm trying to educate, and now you're being.
Okay, sorry. Please continue, Mr. Arcade Guy.
All right. So see how there's those like dials on that. That will control
I see five dials.
Yeah. So that'll control your red, blue, and green.
Let me guess.
So like
RGB and then vertical and horizontal sync.
Yep, exactly. And then what's crazy, which I've never adjusted, and I can't remember what it's called, but there's those like I can't really I'm sorry, I'm stuck behind here literally, like I can't move. So I can't actually move forward or really point. But then where all the voltage goes into the monitor, where you want to be really, really careful, is that little nipple right there. And you guys know
yeah,
we've
don't touch that.
discharged. Yeah, don't touch that. And if you need to know how to discharge a CRT, look that up first before you mess with one, because you can really hurt yourself if you don't know what you're doing. And I've only discharged a couple, and they still freak me the hell out. So I would try to stay away from that.
This is
But it's
like
just
Ren and
like-
Stimpy. He's like,
But
do
what
you
it-
see that button? Do not touch it. It's the history erasing button. Do not touch it.
Exactly. So the thing that really I think the thing that fascinates me is to think that, that big board on the left with the that's got the soundboard and everything. It's just fascinating to think that software emulation is emulate, can emulate all that stuff. And then you
Right.
start thinking about,
That's pretty cool.
it's just kind of crazy to think that you had to buy and invest in this gigantic cabinet. And even the thought about emulating this stuff in software wasn't even really a thought in anyone's mind. And now so it's weird. It's kind of weird to think that, I guess if you could just download something in 5 seconds and have it running on a PC, you maybe wouldn't have as much appreciation for this kind of stuff. But I think when you do get into the hobby at this level, you start having even myself, I'd say I have a way different appreciation for some of the stuff now after playing with it than I did, when I was just doing MAME. Because I didn't start with arcade cabinets. I started with MAME. And you mentioned Nesticle. I messed with that a little bit too back in the day. You had talked about that. There is an interesting adjustment on here that you can't really see right now, but let me see if I can get close enough to see it. So it's a weird one because oftentimes it gets glued and you can't adjust it. Let me see where it is.
Getting close to the naughty parts.
Yeah, hold on. Where is it?
Also, does it have a purple power supply?
This purple cabling. I think that must be new because it does. That's a replacement. I think that's not an original.
Whoa, what's that thing in the center? That's all rusted looking.
Transformer. Yeah, that
Wow.
thing is beat up. That thing is beat to crap. They usually last a long time, but that looks pretty rough.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find it. I can't remember where it is on this board. Hold on. Oh, yeah. So see that? Can you guys see that?
That's scary, dude. Super
Do you
scary.
do you see these two?
Yeah.
Do you see that? Okay, so the one with the glue. So they typically out of the factory used to glue the brightness. I don't know why they did that. There's probably a reason for that that I'm not aware of. But the top one is focus. and the bottom one is brightness. And the thing that's interesting is a lot of times when these are older, you need to adjust the brightness. So they did glue it, but I did have to change that a tiny, tiny bit. I just needed to tweak it ever so slightly, and now it looks fine. But that was something I had. That's the only thing I really had to tune. What's funny?
You touched it, didn't you?
I did touch it, but I didn't touch it right now. But yeah, so there's some weird things. Like I can tell you right now, I've never had to replace one of those. So
Yeah.
what?
That
I
was
wouldn't
like,
know. I actually wouldn't know what to do with this.
you're getting close to it, dude. What are you doing?
I'm not that close. It just looks like I'm closer than I'm not that close. I'm not that close. You know, the only
Camera
bummer
adds
about
like
this.
2 inches.
The only bummer about this cabinet, which would typically people would have, and I'm surprised because they kept it in such good condition. Usually, right here on the floor somewhere, they'd keep the original manuals for the cabinet. They'd either put them there or in the coin box. And the funny thing is, I haven't been able to get into the coin box. So I don't know if the key is somewhere else or whatever. But sometimes they'll shove it in the coin box. So we could check that before we end the stream and see if maybe it's hiding in there and I missed it. But yeah, that's the back of it. So hopefully that was fun to kind of get a glimpse of the back.
This is so great. I've never seen the back of an arcade cabinet. Thank you so much, Retro Ralph, for showing us all these details. Everyone put one in the chat because it's so great, guys. It's so great.
Are you being a jerk?
No, I'm being genuine.
Oh, okay. Sometimes I can't tell. But yeah, so awesome. The other thing too, a very popular monitor brand would be Wells Gardner. Like that was something that people loved. Like these CRTs are hard to come by sometimes, especially nowadays. So a lot of people will, there's a guy here in Phoenix that has 4 of these right now, and it'll directly fit into this. And he has one that says it has no light bleed at all, or not light bleed. Sorry, burn in. So you guys probably remember back in the day, people would say don't keep your Nintendo on because it burn into your CRT. That obviously that issue doesn't exist on LCDs anymore. But it's pretty rare that arcades were always kept on, right?
Not the
so
ones
a lot of
that
these,
you buy.
What do you mean? Why you have
I got some
burn-in
really
on an
crappy
LCD?
LCDs that have burn in. Yeah, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. I've never had one burn in.
You have all the fancy TVs. I bet you have
totally.
2 televisions.
All right. You must be rich. All right. Do you want to kill?
Yeah,
this
show us that
handy-
coin door, man.
Kill the handy cam, and I'll see if we can. Oh, you realize I have to kill this though, bud, because it's like all shit. Okay.
It's all wackadoodle.
Okay. So if we're gonna go to the front, I gotta manipulate and change a couple things here. So just give me some time.
This will be fun to watch. I'm gonna just sit back and relax. And
Well, if you want to just give me a second, I got to see if it'll even open. So if it can't open, then there's no point. But I think I might be able to open it. So just give me a second. Oh, the key's not turning in it though. It's weird. I really think the manual might be in there. A lot of times it is, and I can't. The key won't turn.
just can't get it, guys. We
It's
had
a bummer because normally these come with the keys for everything, and I don't see, unless there was another key that I failed to. Hold on. Let me try.
So my family was asking, would the counter be wired off the coin slot?
I do. I think it might be in here, and I can't get it open for whatever reason. I can't get in there. Unless there's another. Usually there's an extra set of keys hanging off the back, and I don't see that either. That sucks. I really want to open this for you guys.
I really want to see it. Yeah, I think earlier when you were talking about that counter, that would be directly. Would that directly be off the? Yeah, it's all analog, right? So it's actually counting the quarters that are going in.
Yeah, I just don't know why it's not. It's usually like right here, right next to the test switch, and it's not. So I don't know if like it's in a different place, and I just don't know because I mean every arcade's slightly different. So I don't know. Like maybe this is in a different area that I didn't see.
So you're saying that there's enough room where you're trying to get at, where the manual could be hiding?
Sometimes people will shove them if they're like these. You know, if it was like owned by a collector or something. Sometimes they shove it in the coin slot.
Yeah.
I'll show you on my other arcade, but it's not. I can't get it open. Ah, damn it, that sucks. I'll try one more time. Because it could be just the keys.
Did you try wiggling it? That works sometimes.
Wiggle it.
You stick the key in and then just wiggle it. I have a mailbox that's like that. Anytime Amazon sends me something, you know, like you got to put the key in and then wiggle it.
Man. I'm in the front and it's not. The wiggle is not working. Let's see. I'll try one more. It'll give it a little bit more finesse maybe, and maybe I'll get it, but it's weird. It like fits perfectly, but I just can't get it open. Sucks. I can even put my finger kind of in it, but I can't. Yeah, that sucks, man. Why would they not have given me that key? Maybe they didn't have it, but
Dude, who knows what's inside there? There could be like $1 million in there. You just never know.
well, that would be really cool if there's $1 million in there, obviously.
Yeah, except for, it'll be $1 million Canadian. So, like, so what, $2?
Nice. All right, let me see. I'll show you guys in a second. Yeah, I can't get it open. So, all right, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna swing this back around. What is that? What's that noise?
I don't know. Is it Skynet taking over?
Maybe. I don't know. All right, I can't. Let me see. I don't know if I can. Let's try one more thing. Let's try. I'm fine. Let's try one more.
Yeah, no one cares.
I wasn't talking to you. Kim was asking. She cares. You guys don't, but
People are saying I'm super angry. Yeah, there's a reason. I just recalled that Ralph had a very nasty conversation with me earlier today, and it's starting to get on my nerves, man.
why?
I'd have to admit. I don't know.
Oh, cool. All right, so that doesn't work. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip this thing around. I need to get this out of the way. And then, yeah, how's our time looking? How long have we been live?
Hour and 8 minutes.
Oh wow, we gotta wrap up here soon anyway. So I do want to show you guys. Hey, look what's in the corner. Hold on. You see it?
No, what are you talking about?
Right there. So my family will see it. My family, what's there? He'll see it in 2 seconds. He's got a good eye. I guarantee you he'll see it.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
You don't see it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, well,
Whole
he'll
bunch
tell
of
you in
power
a second.
supplies. I don't know. Countercade.
Oh, it's right there. How do you not see that?
Oh, the gamer.
The
Yeah.
Legends Gamer.
Legends gamer. That's where you store your gamer. Okay, cool.
Do you guys want to see what? Do you want to really quickly? Should I show you degausing this a little bit? So you can see
Yeah,
that?
let's do some degauzing. That'd be fun.
All right,
come on.
Before we turn around, then.
All right.
So-
Let's get some ones in the chat for the degauzing. Here we go. It's coming.
So
it's
I wanna
gonna rock your world.
it might be easier to put it on one of those test screens, but see the red right there
Oh
in the
my
corner? It's almost gone, so you can kind of see the red is still there.
That's super scary. Ah! It's actually
I
really
made
cool.
it worse. Oh my gosh, sometimes I can't get it right.
You're trying to kill Skynet or something. What's going on?
It's hard because you're technically supposed to do it from the top. Making it worse. That's good enough for now. I'll fix it later.
Stringer Films has an idea. He wants you to go over, pick up the Legends Gamer, and then use that to pry open the cone door.
No, that would be weird. I wouldn't do that. All right, that wouldn't be nice. Oh God.
This was
Can't
the
get rid of
hour.
that spot.
The hour before this show was all this. Hey, I think you got it.
I think I got it. Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Wow, nice job, dude.
Now. Yeah,
All right, let's
All
come
right,
up.
thank you.
Why don't you come upstairs so we can talk about the infinity table? Let's do this.
Why? Are we
I don't
talking
know.
about that?
Yeah, everyone
Do
wants to
people
know
want-
our
do
thoughts on
people
the
wanna
infinity
talk
table.
about
Yeah,
Oh,
give us a one in the chat if you want to talk about the infinity table before we wrap up this show.
All right, let me just. I need to put some of my mess away really fast so that I don't have to do it after the show because it's super annoying when I have to clean all this stuff up after the show. And you're like, oh yeah, Ralph, cool show. I'm gonna go hang out with the fam now. Have fun cleaning up the whole house.
Come
You wanna
on, man.
Comment on that?
No.
Oh, but you do that.
Yeah, or it's like, oh my god, I gotta go, man. Kim's gonna kill me. I'm telling you, man. She's gonna kill you one of these days. And I'm gonna laugh.
I'm really excited that this thing came from Canada, though. It's kind of exciting, actually.
I know, that actually adds a little bit of
Canada.
Character to it,
I don't know
yeah.
why I degaused it because I'm gonna have to degauss it again because I have to move it. So this one's very temperamental. My
man, so Hold on, it was in Canada, but then you bought it from California, and now it's in Arizona. Man, all the places you will go.
Yeah. All right, so check this out really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a... Whoa, oh crap, stuff is falling all over the place. I can't even turn this. I can't actually turn this arcade on because... Actually, I guess I can.
No, it's not that hard. Just, Alexa, turn on arcades.
No, I have my...
Dang
I
it,
can't
why
do
doesn't
that
it
right
work?
now. Hold on. Hold on, give me 1 sec. I'm going to turn it on really fast. Did it go on?
I can't see it. Oh, you're the Pac-Man now?
Well, I wanted to show you guys typically what's... Even though there's no light. Let me see if I can show the light.
Yeah.
Okay. So, check it out.
Yeah, this is your 20th anniversary, right?
Yeah. So, typically this key would... you can open up the coin door just like you can on the other one. This one has, you can't see it, but right in there is your counter. So I don't know, the counter, I think the counter on the T2 is like stuck under and I can't see it, but typically it's right here. So I can see it right there. The other thing too, if you ever buy an arcade.
What's that counter say?
Holy crap, it's wicked high. 999,022.
Dang, that thing's made some money.
So, so check this out.
Isn't that thing only like 20 years old?
Yeah, if you it might be wrong. I don't know. If you if you buy an arcade and you can't find your keys, like you're like, where are the keys to the back and everything like that? Always check in the coin door. There's usually a little hook, and you'll always find usually the rest of your keys right here. This is typically where they would put them. So if you can't find your keys and the coin door is like unlocked or something, you can go in here and typically they're right here. Like they're almost always going to be there. But anyways,
really cool.
I think, let me see. I think this key does the, oh crap, why is it not coming out? All right, I think this key does this too. If not, it's one of those other ones. But I wanted to show you guys. Yeah, it's not. See, I think they didn't give me a set of keys to the T2. Whether they had them or not, I don't know. But they might
Probably in
have forgotten.
Canada still.
Is it, oh, figure for the show, it would be the last set of keys that would open up this door. You'd go figure. All right, there we go.
There
So check
we
it
go.
out. So
Oh,
typically people do this.
There you go.
They'll leave the manual. So you go in here. This is like a customary thing usually, either inside or somewhere. But there it is. There's the Miss Pac-Man Galaga manual, and it shows you all sorts of. It says Namco on it. It shows you all the operating specifications for the game and stuff. It tells you the dip switches, because this actually had a bunch of different modes you could put the game in. You could put it in the fast mode and all that stuff. They had that. So it shows you how to do that in here, which is pretty neat. So
Hey, Ryan, let us know if you actually did that math. But Ryan P says, you remember you just read out like the coin door number?
Right? That can't
Did you
be
see
right.
it?
That can't be right.
249,755?
Can that be right? Is that you did that per 25 cents? Because that's what this was to play.
Man, that's pretty cool.
That can't be. Holy
We
crap.
are in the
I guess
wrong business.
I guess it could be. Well, now it's not, right? Because now you free play
it's free play.
everything. All right, you ready to go back upstairs then?
Yeah, let's go upstairs.
And then we got to wrap things up. I gotta get along the rest of my. Actually, it said this game was $1 to play, but I don't think that's what it was set for. There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah. I don't know.
Right?
I hope not.
No, that counter might be wrong or something. That doesn't seem right. That seems way off. Or someone made a ton of money on this freaking game.
Yeah.
By the way, this game looks beautiful on the. I don't know why this game looks so good on this. This camera picks up this CRT amazingly well, and I don't know why. Because typically you'd have like you'd see a lot of the lines you'd see the CRT scan lines, and it looks really good.
Yeah, it does look really good.
This machine, I'd never talked about it on the show, but this machine actually, here, I'll spin it around really quick. You see me okay?
Yep.
Just so you see the light bar right there. Sorry about that. This machine came from a guy who, is my audio sync way off?
No, you're good.
So this machine came from a guy who, that's why I don't think that counter's right. because this machine was like someone that what
The camera's slowly moving to the right.
is it?
Yeah.
Anyways, bottom line is this machine was in a guy's private collection. It never saw an arcade floor, and you can tell it because the whole machine is immaculate. Like I got really lucky. The guy was an older guy. He owns some arcades in Arizona, and he's like, "Look, I just want to get it. My wife and I are trying to downsize. We're gonna sell our house, and they were just gonna buy a camper and just kind of like tour around just kind of live wherever they want in retirement." And he gave me this. This was, I think he sold it to me for $900. So you think about it, $900 for it literally has no blemishes on it. The only thing that's wrong with it is the artwork on the control panel is like worn a little bit from the oils and skin and stuff, but like it's still, that'd be nitpicking. It's like only a tiny, tiny bit. So it's pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna go upstairs now. So we'll go wrap up the show at this point, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've
let's
never
talk
even
about
done
that.
I've never even done any videos on, I feel bad. I haven't done any videos on I haven't even talked about this on the show. Like I have this machine I haven't talked about. We haven't really done any videos on the Play Choice 10 much except for on our channel, but I'd love to show people this machine because it's an Area 51 maximum force conversion. It's really cool, but we'll get to it eventually at some point, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's run upstairs. All right. Let's do
right,
this.
All right, and I got to wrap it up. So we figure
Okay.
5
Let's
more
do
minutes,
this.
and then
I'm gonna
5 more
take
minutes.
you off. All right. So now Ralph should be coming upstairs, and then we're gonna be doing a little bit of chat. I don't know, guys. So what do you guys think of the quick little episode? I guess it's been on for a little while actually. We're hour and 18 minutes in. We wanted to give you a review of the T2 cabinet. I know a lot of you were live for that arcade auction. A lot of people were asking about, what do you guys think? Sorry, guys, I was being kind of a jerk. I'm going to tell you something really quick. So I did the review of the Neo Geo cabinet, and then I actually hurt my back like really bad. So I've just been like, I don't know, just like a jerk all the time. I'm actually really sorry. Like, I'm usually not a person that's in pain, but like literally when I was taking the Neo Geo cabinet, nothing against MVSX or anything like that, but when I put it inside the package to ship it off to Sabo, like
Oh
I
my god.
broke my back nearly. Like I was bedridden for a day or two. I'm explaining to everyone why I was such a jerk to you. And so I'm sitting here during the show, and somewhere a part of the show, the meds kind of wore off. So I'm all like, yeah, okay, Ralph, we need to get going. Let's do this. Anyway, so let's talk about the Infinity Table. So if those of you who don't know, Arcade 1-Up has announced a new product line for, their in-home arcade. That's kind of their meat and potatoes. They sell these, I don't know if you ever heard about it, but there's this company called Arcade 1-Up, and they sell these small miniature machines, 3/4 size, and I guess a lot of people really like them. They branched out to some of these like countercades and wallcades and partycades, all these variety of cabinets. But now they're getting into what seems to be a completely different product line called the Infinity Table. So, Retro Ralph, what do you think about it?
Well, Stringer, you did admit in the Stringer's video that there's many people that think you're on drugs, and Stringer's just he's reinforcing that. He said thought you may be on oxy, so he's just reinforcing what everyone already knows. The Infinity Table's cool. It's one of those things where, I had talked to Justin. I was like, I don't know if it's really anything we want to cover. Just because we like arcades doesn't mean we're automatically gonna like this thing. I don't dislike it. It's just not, I guess I'd have to play with it because it's one of those things where, Kim and I, we will do things like, not board games, but we've gone and done that game on virtual reality, that headset where you like defuse the bomb. And so someone's wearing the headset and you have the thing, and we have a lot of fun with that. So maybe we do like board games. So maybe like it might be kind of a cool family thing to do. But her and I will play like Wheel of Fortune on Xbox and stuff like that. So maybe this, I know those are game shows, but I guess my opinion is I don't really know right now because I haven't used it. It's one of those things where would I personally be into it? I don't really know. Do I think it's conceptually cool? Yeah, like the concept's kind of neat, right?
Yeah.
To be able to, but I think it's a different audience. It's like there are conventions specifically for table games. There are people that are way into table games. So those people that are into table games may think this is like super awesome. It might be like a complete like knock out of the park for that kind of a customer who just loves table games. So I can't say anything bad about it because I've never used it, but I'm not sure I'm like something I want to go run out and buy.
Right, like maybe
quite yet.
you wouldn't be the customer. So I was talking to my sister about it. It was kind of interesting because she likes the arcade room that I put together with at games and arcade one up units. And I've talked to her a little bit. She doesn't have any, and she's on a budget. So she was like, "Oh man, if I was gonna get an arcade, like I would want to get like Centipede and Asteroid and things like that." So I was like, "Oh, maybe the At Games Legends Ultimate would be pretty good for you." Like she's older. My sister, I think she's born like 75, so she's kind of in that. She's old. I'm sorry, I just upset a whole bunch of people, but she's older than Ralph and I, right? And so, but then I talked to her about the infinity table, and she was just like freaking out, thinking it's the coolest thing ever. She doesn't have any of those board games. For me, my wife and I been married for over 20 years, and like we own, it's got to be over 100 board games. I mean, we have a closet.
wow.
It's just
Oh, so then maybe
filled
this
with
will be
board
something you'd
games.
be into then.
That's the thing. Like, why would I buy that? I have all those games in their original format,
Yeah.
and we're physically, and they're all in perfect condition because we have the saying where we buy the board game and we immediately put Ziploc bags to put everything in,
Why does it?
and
not
then we don't
surprise me
lose
that you
any
would
parts.
Put Ziploc bags in all your board game like that.
Yeah,
Totally.
I mean
sounds like something-
we have every single part to every single piece, and so we still play those, and they're in great shape. And some of them we buy a whole bunch of these games from the 50s from like garage sales,
Oh, cool.
and they're a lot of fun. So the idea of then taking something like that's digital and then putting it in a table where we already play board games or do
Yeah.
puzzles, things like that, I'm not really sure they'd be appealed. My daughter thought it was cool though.
Well, that's the thing. I think if you look at, I don't want to get too deep into this, but if you look at like my son would probably think that's a neat way. He'd probably be like, well, this is awesome. We don't have to worry about the paper and all the crap anymore. It's all on there. He would think it's cool, but he also is the generation that when he was born, it was digital, right? Like
Yeah,
everything was digital. Like he had a digital footprint when he was born. There was pictures, there was there was nothing physical anymore. So for him, it's almost like kind of a novelty to have a board game. But if you told him like I can do all that in this tablet thing, he'd probably be like, yeah, well, why the hell would I do? Why would I have to want to get out the board games? Because he's like, man, I lose
Sure.
the pieces all the time, or I want to
Yep.
be the thimble. Where's the damn thimble? I can't find it
Yeah.
anymore.
I think there's definitely a market for it.
Yeah.
Now I will say that when we, so about 11 years ago, when my wife was pregnant, we were like laying in bed a lot towards the end of the pregnancy. She's really tired and all this, and so we would want to play those board games. So we played Monopoly like on our iPhone. It was like our first iPhone, the iPhone 2 or something, and we
Yeah.
would play like online Monopoly, which was a lot of fun. Actually, we haven't played it since then because there hasn't really been a scenario where we
Yeah.
couldn't go to the the kitchen table type of thing and play
Yeah.
the board games.
I mean, here's the problem for me is I don't think I'm interested in enough to I don't know what it's going to cost, but I don't know if I'm interested enough. It kind of deviates from what for just if we're talking about just like the channel, not what you and I do together, but if I think about my own channel, it doesn't really fit with what I cover. Like I guess it is a video game version of a board game, but it's not really what I'm really passionate about. So I guess for me,
So really,
I will probably won't.
Tell me the difference between a pinball game and a digital board game.
Well, but I don't know. I don't know that you're right. That's a really good
Okay,
point, right?
Let me
But
take it to another direction for a
we got to
second.
move on though, because I got to.
Yeah, so
I don't wanna-
infinity table. Don't think about, is this the market for you? Think about, is this good for Arcade 1-Up to come up with another product
totally
that diversifies
yeah, I
their
mean,
portfolio?
Totally. I mean, if they want to own your man cave with entertainment products, then sure, yeah, absolutely. It's expanding their audience, right? And I do think these are very different. Just because you like arcade games, I don't think you're going to be like, oh, you like arcade games, you must love digital board games. I don't think they care about that. They're like, there are a lot of people that will like digital board games, and maybe there's
Right.
some crossover, but I don't think it's to maybe you hook some of those, but I think it's more to expand your audience to other
Yeah.
products. That's what I think.
Here's where there's the crossover. The crossover is they go to China and say, hey, we need to get a whole bunch of 24-inch or 32-inch monitors. How many do you need? let's see. Hey, John, so how many pinballs do we need and how many infinity tables do we need? Oh, add those together. That's how many displays we need. They can actually synergize their different product lines. And when they purchase up, for the supply of their products, then think about the single board processor. A lot of their Gen 4, Gen 3, and Gen 4 are quad core processors. That's probably all you need to play these 3D arcade games. It's probably around the same specs, right? So then one last thing, they own it when it comes to license. So imagine they either make a phone call to Capcom or they make a phone call to Hasbro. They have all the same skills. They have all the same license negotiation tricks to be able to get a company like Hasbro to license them a digital version of those games. And then they can work with developers. So it's awesome, actually, that they're doing this.
Yeah.
It's right up their alley. It's just a completely different market, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and who knows? Maybe you'll see a time where they'll decide that it's a tablet. It could run anything, right? I mean, providing it's we don't know what it is because we didn't see the specs. It could just be a tablet, or it could be something more than that. It could be a touch screen with some other, like you're saying, there's a PCB and it's a touch screen and you interface like a tablet. But it could be the ability to add Bluetooth controller, and maybe you play arcade games on it.
So you're telling me the third generation pinball machine might be a touch screen, so you can touch the different options?
No. Okay. No. But hey, I just wanted to get to a couple things. So my family had a super chat. He said, Justin in a bad mood is nicer than most people in good moods. You don't know him that well, but I'll thank you for the super chat. King Kong says, Ralph, do you love your Play Choice cab? I absolutely love it. And the funny thing is the cabinet, because it's Nintendo games, right? It's basically Nintendo games. It's the cabinet I use the most because that room downstairs that we were in, I don't know if you see that, that's my work desk. So when I'm working from home, I'm working in that room. It's my break cabinet. Like I need a break to go play a game. I'll go play like a little bit of Punch Out or a little bit of Metroid or a little bit of like Super Mario Brothers. So it's a fun cabinet to just pick up and play a little bit. The only bad thing is it has a super freaking loud attract mode. So sometimes it'll be like, I'll be sitting there, it'll be like, it'll start playing the Super Mario Brothers 2 theme and it's really loud. Mm-hmm. The game I was talking about that I play with Kim is called Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. It's really fun. If you want a fun party VR game, it's really fun, and you only need like the Oculus Go. You don't need anything super fancy to play it. It's super fun. So Justin, if you ever get a chance to play it with like your daughter would love it. She'd have a blast with it. My family has a younger daughter. I don't know. It might be. I'm trying to think what age it'd be fun for, but you have to know a little bit of like basic math and stuff. But I think, most kids, I think would get a kick out of it too. Plus, if they, made the bomb explode on their parents, I'm sure they'd love it.
So Zohar asked, how much do you think a reasonable price be the infinity table? Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought they talked about $300 to $500. Am I dreaming? I thought I read $300 to $500.
I haven't really. It kind of the news came out and I kind of didn't really follow it. Like I really didn't look into it other than just I think maybe my family sent it to me. Someone sent me a link. It was either him or Stringer. Someone did, and I looked at it for a minute, but I didn't really read the story. I just kind of saw what it was. Because if you guys remember that video, do you remember? Wasn't it you and I that did that video on Scott's old like Y arcade 1-up thing? It was kind of like his sort of, and he talks about the infinity table in there, and then they made that video private because everyone's like, what's an infinity table? So I don't know. I'm going to say it's probably going to be like $500, I think, even though that's super expensive. What?
Yeah, people are saying there's no way that it's $300 to $500. And Zohar was saying it's the cabs that cost $300 to $500.
I would hope it'd be like, if someone asked me what I would want it to be, I would say like $199 to $299. And if you go more than that, I don't know, man. That's a lot to play board games. Like I know you could argue, well, how much does each board game cost? You're getting 50 board games. Over $300 is going to be really hard for. I'm not probably going to buy it. So anyway, but I think
if you go to Best Buy and you want to buy, if you go to Best Buy and you want to buy a cheap TV that's a 24-inch, 1920 by 1080, it's $100. Guaranteed.
Yeah, so that's why I'm thinking like 300 would be probably.
I think the
what
300 would be closer. So you got it.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain things we don't want to. I don't want to get all in on this episode, but I'm kind of getting a little bit like they're pushing the limits a lot. Arcade 1-Up with the pricing. I think they need to watch that because think about it, right? We were comfortable with. I was really comfortable with $299, and then you bought the riser for like $40. And I know you're getting more stuff now. I
Yeah.
realize that, right? You're getting more, so therefore it should be more expensive. When you start pushing like $5.99, I think you're getting a little too expensive, you know? I mean, that's just my personal opinion, but
Yeah. It's tough because we've talked about this before. They've never really raised the price. Not really. It's always been $2.99 for a cab, and then you got to pay more for the riser. And if you were to, you can get like you bought a Pac-Man 40th for your wedding.
oh yeah, I didn't tell you guys that. So I went and bought the Pac-Man 40th for the wedding, and I was on the phone with Justin. I'm like taking it out of the box. I don't know why. In my mind, I'm so used to it now having all the stuff. So I'm kind of contradicting myself a little bit because I was like, I opened it up. I'm like, what? There's no lit marquee. Wait, there's no stool or riser. And I was like, oh crap, I bought the $300 one. And
Yeah.
I didn't even realize, even though we
right.
cover this all the time, I totally forgot that there was a $300 one. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I kind of felt like this kind of sucks. Like I want it with all that stuff.
So they do make $300 variants of a lot of the cabs, and they said they
Yeah.
still plan on doing that. So you can expect someone like Target might actually cover like the X-Men cabinet, and maybe it'll be $2.99, but it doesn't come with a riser and it doesn't come with a light up marquee. And maybe a little bit different because that one's online. We haven't seen like a non-riser, non-marquee NBA Jam, but that's a 4-player. So
Yeah.
I don't know. But
But I mean,
what
I'll
is
tell
true?
you guys, like, I'm not buying any more right now. Like, I'm not buying them even to review them. I'm not buying them right now. So, like, I didn't pre-order the Buck Hunter. I didn't pre-order. Wait, I didn't pre-order Miss Pac-Man. That was pre-order, right? I didn't pre-order that. Like, I haven't pre-ordered anything. So, I just can't. Like, I can't anymore. It's a space and cost issue. Like, I cannot. And granted, I'm super grateful. They provided a couple of cabinets so far. They provided an NBA Jam, which was awesome. That was great. Like, that was amazing. And they provided the Burger Time. But I'm also not thinking, oh, well, they're just going to give me cabinets now. I don't have that attitude towards them. I guess if they do, that's awesome, and I will be super grateful for that if they do that. But I can't afford to buy them anymore. Like I can't keep buying them 500, 500, 500. Like you guys
Nailed it.
It's crazy. No, seriously. I'm dead serious. Well, I mean,
Okay.
maybe there's a factor there a little bit, but I really truly guys, I don't know how many of you guys started when they started, but I
Yeah.
started with their first cabinet. I bought almost every one. And when you
That's
add
the
up
thing.
the total cost, that's insanity in a way. We need
Yeah.
to do a whole episode on that because I think a lot of people that watch and a lot of people in the chat are in that very same boat. And it gets kind of crazy when you think about the money you've invested. It gets kind of crazy.
Yep.
We lie to ourselves to make ourselves feel good about it. Justin and I have had conversations where I'm like, at the end of the conversation, I'm pretty sure we just lied to each other to make ourselves feel good.
That's right.
But that's not okay because that's like someone with a problem talking to another person that has a problem.
That's
Like,
right.
You don't have a problem. Justin's like, dude, you don't have a problem. Like, Justin, you don't have a problem either. Why did we just talk about that for an hour? We don't have problems.
Yeah, we don't have a problem. What are you talking about?
Oh, Nikki's awesome. She says, don't add it up. She's like, well, just don't add it up.
All right. I'm calling it.
Yeah, we got to go. The only reason why, Justin, I would keep going, I would love to keep talking all night, but wait, what does that say? Anyone actually get a $50 one-up when they were blowing them out? I think a lot of people did, Brad. That was crazy. It was like nuts how it was regional though. Definitely, like Justin had that app that you could go to figure it out. Home arcade deals.
Who knows?
Yeah, home arcade, you don't even know the name of your own app. But
Yeah, I got a
yeah,
75 and a $50.
they never did them in. I couldn't get the deals in Phoenix, and there's a guy that Arizona Arcade Heroes. Go check out his YouTube channel. He's a really awesome dude, and he was
is.
always finding the $50 cabs. I'm like, dude, he was always finding. I
He
could
got
never
him,
find him.
and he lives near Arizona, so it was just you weren't checking the site daily, and he was anyway. Come on.
All right, one more comment. One more, Justin. One more thing, because everyone brought it up. One more thing. Yes, there's coffee talk tomorrow, but that's not the one more thing. The last thing, Justin. Listen, this is important for you too.
Okay.
I don't know where the hell the pinball is, guys.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I'll give you a 2-second version. This is such a conspiracy weird theory, and I'm sure it's wrong, but Justin and I have had phone conversations about this. Like, is it possible behind the scenes At Games and 1UP don't want to go first. Like, someone doesn't want to go first. It was Justin brought it up to me. He's like, do you think one of them doesn't want to go first? And I'm like, I don't know, but it seems crazy.
So I have two theories. Two theories. The one theory is At Games and Arcade 1UP are waiting for the other one to announce because there's a little bit of room in the money, in the cost. So as an example, if 1UP says we're doing it for $550, right? Like kind of like the Buck Hunter, right? At Games is like ours is $4.99, or it could be the reverse. So that's theory one. That's why. So to support that theory, if you guys go look at the 40th anniversary, and like I'm maybe the Miss Pac-Man, the manufacturer dates of some of these things, I think it was like on my countercade was like February.
Yeah. The manufacturer dates are
like. But if you go look at some of the other cabinets, the manufacturer dates that I bought earlier would be like 3 months before I bought it. It was like basically they manufactured it and it took 3 months to get to me. But some of these cabs are all like, it took 6 months to get to me, which makes me think they had them going, but they were waiting for Summer of Gaming. They were holding on to them, and then they distributed. I could be wrong. Maybe they were staying in China for all those months. Or so when it comes to pinball, maybe there's cushion on the price, and maybe there's a little cushion on the timing. This goes to my second theory. Second theory is they're just not going to announce it till about November 12th. Basically, they're going to announce it Black Friday.
Maybe. I mean,
why would you announce it in September or October?
Yeah. Why I was hoping that we'd get a little bit more information on both sides is that all we have, from At Games' perspective, the specs look really good. Like what they've decided to do with the screen sizes and all those things look really good. Now, it's weird because my mind goes two places. As soon as I see specs, I go, "Can I mod it?" But I try now to look at products for like the face value of them, and it's hard because right now I don't feel like I've got I don't know games lists, right? So I don't know games lists on either side. So I can't say, okay, which one would I buy if the bigger screen entices me on At Games, but the games list is good, then cool. But I don't have anything compared to on the Arcade 1UP side. I can go, all right, smaller screen size, but man, I love those games even more. And then you're like, you know what I mean? We're in this weird
it could also be like,
pattern.
Like At Games says they're going to do a 32-inch. Are they holding back because Arcade 1UP's like, we're going to do a 32-inch variant?
Well, no, I don't think so because, well, maybe later, but I don't think so because we saw unless they're totally duping us right now, but or tricking us, but we saw that one that Mel over at Zen had at his house, and that was supposedly the final production one, and it had the same size screen, which is like a 24-inch or something like that. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to me in general, though, Justin. The thing that's crazy to me is Virtual Pinball. 2 years ago, or maybe it was 3. It was about 3 years ago when I bought my first Virtual Pinball. It was so nichey, and no one really it was weird. Like, even the guy I bought it off of was so hardcore pinball. He was like a pinhead, like hardcore. And I was like, wow, I'm not that into pinball like you are. And then it's weird because it's become like these products are kind of bringing it mainstream where everyone's excited about it. But 3 years ago, it was not that way. So if there's one really positive thing is with Toy Shark, which I'm not a fan of, but you guys already know that. With Toy Shark and At Games and Arcade 1UP, like they're going to make something mainstream that 3 years ago was like not even close to mainstream. It was just hobbyists doing it. And if you look back, they've been doing it for a long time. It's just
same
weird.
Thing with Neo Geo MVSX. The moment you put out that video, or the moment we went online, 1UP Weekly, there's a handful of people that subscribe to the channel because we did the MVSX, and some of them have reached out to us, and we're getting to know them, emailing and stuff like that. And they're big fans of Neo Geo, and they get it. They understand the home arcade. They quickly researched and started understanding. I remember last 2 weeks ago when we did it, people were talking about, does the Neo Geo have a deck protector? Some people didn't even know what a deck protector was. And it was because they weren't familiar with the home arcade space. But now they're getting familiar with it. I'm like, I get it. Okay, home arcade, there's a certain level of compromise and certain level expectations. I mean, these are LCD screen-based arcades that are for the home. It's not going to be as good as the CRT, so just accept that, But at the same time, these parts and the quality that they're using continue to grow. And so I venture to say Legends Ultimate and the Gen 3 Arcade 1UP are like the new standards, and anything that slips below that is not very good. So when you're going to look at, hey, what's the II arcade going to be? Well, it needs to have those standards, and it looks like it's going to based on their specs. And Neo Geo is the same way; it's going to have those standards. But it brought a whole bunch of people also into kind of our space, and they commented on your channel and on the One Up Weekly saying this is horrible, just like you were saying about the pinball. These pinheads, of course the mechanical pinball is going to have a certain level, or virtual pinball is going to have a certain level.
Well, there's also virtual
of quality,
and there's crazy levels of virtual pinball. Like there are people that have put a considerable amount of money in their builds of their pinball. They use 4K screens for both the backlash and the playfield. They've got solenoids all over the thing. They've got the haptic feedback. Like they go crazy, but the amount of money they invest in it, easily they could eat with the PC to power all the both 4K screens, or even 3 sometimes if they have a DMD. Like it can get super expensive. So it's just weird when we're in this weird spot where even though we talk about home arcade all the time in this 3/4 space, there's a bunch of people that still don't realize that this all exists. And when they do, sometimes they're like, what is this? This is blasphemy. This is crap. And it's like, guys, you can't compare a $10,000 virtual pinball device to a $400 one and then say it's crap, because it's different levels.
Let me go another direction. Like when I did the video for the Neo Geo MVS, someone commented on the video saying this is all crap because it's $500. You could get original hardware for like nothing. And I'm like, you're right. You can totally go to AliExpress and for $35
you can buy an MVSX.
You can buy an
MVS for like $40.
NVS, right? And then you get 161 multi-cart, like about $100 you can basically consoleize, and then about another $100 for the controller. The controllers are actually pretty expensive, and you can play those games. You could also just emulate those games on your computer, But and he responded. I explained but there's this home arcade market where people are willing to spend the money.
They want to turn it on. They want to turn it on at home. They want to bring it home. They want to do some very light assembly, if that, very easy stuff like IKEA style. And then they want to enjoy it. Like there's a market,
and that's a market that exists. And he actually responded like he totally understands, totally gets that. And actually, the only argument he had in the end was, I think he kind of wished it was more like $400 than $500.
Yeah,
and I could see that.
$500 is not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. So I get that. Like I get people saying, "Wow, it's expensive." So we missed a couple super chats, and we really have to wrap it up. I basically started a whole separate show for us.
Yeah, I was thinking we can just cut this out and make it a second show. It'd be pretty cool.
We really could. So Zohar said, thank you for the super chat. It says, if they release another Pac-Man cab, I give you my word, I'm going to make a video of me smashing it. I promise. Okay. Well, that you heard it here. He said he's going to smash it.
It's funny because he says that, but like they've already said there's going to be 4 by the end of the
year. There'll be like 1,700 more Pac-Man cabinets. All right. And Stringer Films. I don't really want to see you do that, Zohar, because I'd be wasting your money. So don't do that. Stringer Films said, software pinball at Costco 2 weeks after Marvel at Walmart. And then thank you for the super chat, bud. And then he had one more super chat that I missed. And then there's a bunch more comments that we're just not going to have time to get to. No arcade One Up pinball until 25 Frogger cabinets are sold. Well, yeah, I don't actually Nikki bought the Frogger. I think if Nikki's in the chat still, I think she posted something on Facebook where she bought the Frogger countercade. I'd love to know if she thought it was good. I just wasn't a fan of the artwork on it, but when you think about it, the original artwork on Frogger wasn't exactly mind blowing either. So yeah.
All right.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm sorry guys. There's a lot more. So just so you know what's going on behind the scenes, and I know, and I'm not saying this to put pressure on Justin, but I kind of am. But him and I had been talking about. I had said, wow, dude, it's hard for us to keep up with the chats now, especially when you get, when there's a lot of people chatting and it's active and it's awesome because you guys are super active. We miss stuff sometimes. So Justin was going to build, we had talked about what could we do, and we were going to build a tool where, for one, every super chat gets parked so that if for some reason we miss a super chat, we'd know about it. So we'd make sure at the end of the show, we try to crank through anything that we missed, because that's really important to us. We know that if you're going to spend money, we appreciate that. And we want to make sure we get to your comments. We also want to make sure that there's a lot of people that don't super chat, and you're not required to super chat. We want to hear from you no matter what. But it's hard for us to, if there's such a large amount of super chats, we miss some of the other great questions. So we wanted to have the ability to parking lot a really good question or a question that we think would be thought provoking for everybody, and then get to it after. So Justin's working on that. I don't want to commit to when he's going to have that done, but we're trying to do that to help make sure we don't miss so many of these great questions that you guys have.
Yeah, that's right.
Justin's like, yeah, I'm totally working on that.
I got pretty far on it like 2 weeks ago. I think it's like halfway done, and then we can integrate it. We can we'll go live and try it out, see if it'll work.
Exactly. And then King Kong says, Justin, build a bot to help me order a PlayStation 6. PlayStation 6. 5, you mean? Or why 6?
I need to start working on it now, you know?
Oh, I get it. Yeah, you're going to skip the generation because you can't get one. I totally get it. All right. Yeah, Devil D Guitar is like, yeah, no pressure, but if you could hurry up, that'd be great. Anyways. That's it, man. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was fun. You know, Justin and I have been talking about arcades for a long time and showing, like, you guys seem to love our arcade episodes. So we wanted to make sure, you know, we continue doing that. We figured the T2 was a good way to do it. So
yeah. So next Saturday, we're going to be arcading it up with the arcade auctions. So we don't know the time. Did you figure out what time would be a good time yet? No pressure, you know.
I don't think they have all of the... you know, they usually up until the week before, that's when all the lots are up there. So what I was going to do is super quick. I'm going to find the best lot for us to join, just like I did the last two. Then that way we try to find the best string of arcades, because they go literally, guys, from like 11 a.m. to like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So it's super long. So we got to find, you know, the right time to do it.
All right. Well, I'm going to do something that forces us to end the show.
All right. I'm not doing...
All right.
We will see you
on
on
the next one.
Take care, guys.